Bonjour, konnichiwa, hola, guten tag. I don't speak any other languages, I promise, but today we're going to be talking all about the language of real estate. The language that you speak is absolutely going to be the difference maker in you selling 3 homes a year or 50 homes a year. Hi, I'm John Foster, and I help realtors and team leaders scale their businesses and win to become #1 in their marketplaces. I've broken this down into questions that you're going to ask sellers. So we're going to start with the first question, and I want you to notice the tone of my voice, okay? Are you definitely selling your house soon, or are you mostly just curious about the market right now? Notice how I said, are you definitely selling your house soon? That's really strong language. Most people, most potential sellers are going to be like, no, I'm not definitely selling my house soon. And by the way, we're going to post a link to these questions down below so you can have access to these questions. The response you're looking for is, are you mostly just curious about the market right now? And they're going to say, absolutely, John, I'm really glad you asked me that because I'm not definitely selling because I've got so many questions about the market. So what your competitors are doing is they are making the assumption that they're definitely selling right now, and they're pushing and pushing and pushing, sign the listing agreement, and the seller's not responding, or they're not responding favorably because they're not definitely selling right now. So that's an amazing question that allows you to be curious and help them understand the market. Question number 2, how often do you look at your Zillow Zestimate, and do you feel that it is accurate, or do you have questions about your home's value? Notice how that sentence structure is broken up a little bit. That's done intentionally. I asked a seller this question earlier this week. I said, I'm glad you asked that, John. He goes, I do check my Zillow Zestimate pretty often. And this is the response I was looking for. He said, but it's not at a price I would be willing to sell the home for. I was prepared when I was speaking to this gentleman. His home was worth $200,000 more than the Zillow's estimate. Sometimes Zillow's estimates are really accurate and sometimes it's not. Because what do sellers mostly look at? The Zillow's estimate. Okay, that's very much in their mind. Okay, so next question. Let me preface the question with, I believe that all of you that are going after sellers trying to build your listing business, you need to have some version of what's called a pre-listing package. Now, a pre-listing package should be dropped off prior to your listing appointment. We've been using what's called a digital pre-listing package using a company called Highnote. And it's basically everything you would drop off in a printed form can be digital. But the beauty of digital is you can have website links, samples of video tours, you can have a video about you. And what's really cool about Highnote is it will give you feedback that your seller opened your digital pre-listing package prior to you arriving. And the script is very simple. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm really excited to meet with you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Could I ask you a huge favor? Prior to me meeting you at 2 p.m., I'm going to send you a digital listing book. Would it be okay if I ask that you review that before I get there? Now we're at the house. We've walked through the home. They've given us a tour. We're sitting down at the kitchen table. Here's the first question you want to ask. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, after reviewing my Highnote presentation, what are the most important questions and concerns that you have that you would like me to address? Sellers are nervous about something almost every time, and it's our job to identify what that is so we can offer support and solutions and help in that regard. Let their concerns guide your conversation. Now, at the end of addressing their concerns, if you feel it's valuable to talk about certain value adds that your team or that you offer, that is great. Question number 4. I know that you understand that the agent you ultimately choose will make a massive difference in the outcome and the experience you have. Having said this, what are the most important things to you about the agent you end up hiring to sell your home? This is a big one. And again, what is the contrast to that? The contrast to that is an agent telling a seller, you should hire me because of this. You should hire me because we're really good at this. So I want you guys to really understand the framing of all of these questions is asking them for a response and telling them that we want to remain curious. Next question, are you mostly interested in selling your home in its as-is condition, or do you see value in making some improvements to increase the home's value? The question here asking them, again, creates curiosity to find out it's their home. Maybe they're in a time crunch. Maybe they have some other circumstance that's preventing them, whatever it is. So again, let's contrast that. What are your competitors saying? Mr. and Mrs. Seller, let me tell you what I think we should do. We should redo the landscaping front and back. We should paint the exterior of the home. We should paint the interior of the home. We should replace all the flooring. Because The agent never asked the seller, are you interested in even having that conversation? What is the seller doing? They're thinking, we will never hire this agent, right? So it's remaining curious along every aspect of these questions dealing with sellers. The next question, do you have any questions about timing, renting the home back, or buying before you sell? Any other questions regarding the process? So we have a lot of sellers that, maybe here's an example. They've got small children. The house is, it's just lived in. There's nothing wrong with the house, but it's lived in. And there's a huge concern of the family of making a contingent offer, meaning that they need to sell the current home before they buy. And the home just does not look in what's called a marketable ready or a photo ready condition. Could a plan be put in place to maybe work with them cleaning the house up and decluttering whatever? Sure. But if you have what's called a buy before you sell program with a lender or an affiliate or something like that, and by the way, we've got a lot of unique value propositions that we offer our sellers that almost always land us the listing. If you'd like to book a call with me, just click the link below and I'd be happy to spend some one-on-one time with you to just talk a little bit about the strategy for some of your unique value or your unique selling propositions. That this buy before you sell product, we've brought that up before. Are you interested in learning about that? Is that one of your concerns? And you can instantly see their eyes light up. Oh, what do you mean? How does that work? Tell me more about that. And it's like, found it. That was the one thing that they were the most fearful of that was causing them to pause. Our job is to eliminate confusion, provide solutions and answers, and then they'll move forward working with us. Let's jump over to buyers. This is also a fun one. I hope you guys understand. It's the same concept, right? Sellers are, selling a home, buyers are buying a home, but they're in two different places in the real estate process, and they just have different questions. Starting with question one, this is pretty much pertaining to new buyers or a lead you receive that you are trying to generate a trust and a rapport and a relationship. But question number one, what is your opinion of the market right now? Would you guys agree? The buyers want to be heard. So you want to ask, what is their opinion of the market right now? And then really just be a very active listener to how they respond to that. So we're going to group questions 3 and 4 together because they're basically the same question. We're just going to ask it a different way. So first, question 3, what would the benefits of you buying right now be? Question number 4, what would the benefits of you buying at a future time be? So not now, but in the future. What your competitors are doing, right, is they're telling the buyer, and the buyer's going, oh gosh, I'm thinking in my mind, I should be buying in the future because it's a different benefit to me. But here I've got this agent just telling me I should be buying now. So when that agent goes to follow up tomorrow and then this buyer, ghosts them because you never asked any curious questions. You were telling him this and explaining why you feel they should do this now. And there was no rapport that was built. Okay, so let's jump to question 5. When you think about your financing options, do you focus more about the interest rate or do you focus more on what the monthly payment would be? This is one of the best questions we can ask any of our buyers, especially in this exploratory phase of we just met them, we're getting to know them. It's important that we understand where their mindset is at. I've seen more buyers that have been shown monthly payments at whatever rate, it does not matter. And it's simply, are you comfortable with the payment? It's a yes or no question. If they're comfortable with the payment, they're a qualified buyer that should be excited about buying a home. And that's where we start to see them get excitement built and they're booking appointments with you. You're showing homes, then you're ultimately writing offers and they're closing escrows. And that's where we want to get to. Question 6, are there any time-sensitive life events that are important to your upcoming move that I might need to know about? Multiple examples, but it could be a job change. It could be kids starting school. It could be a baby that is due. Family moving in. Maybe they have a current notice on their rental apartment or rental house. If we ask, are there any time-sensitive life events that are important? Sometimes there is and sometimes there isn't, but asking that question is going to demonstrate to that client that you're very attentive, you want to build a plan and a strategy for them, and it's going to really show them that you're taking this very seriously. Question number 7, if you haven't spoken to a lender yet, do you feel like that process could help you, or are you feeling more like it wouldn't be that beneficial? Give them a way out of the financing question. So why? I think most of the time you're going to get you're probably not going to get a lot of pushback, but I have a concern about them pulling my credit right now. That gives you an opportunity to acknowledge that and say, that's a great question. When we get on that Zoom call with the lender, I promise I'm going to actually bring that question up first for you. Question number 8. If a lender gave you very favorable feedback on your purchasing power, would that excite you? Okay, that could be a follow-up question just as question 7, right in that same conversation. If they say yes, that is a great sign. It's a great opportunity to lead into a lender introduction, meeting for coffee with the lender, go to the lender's office, do a Zoom call. They have intentions and they're talking to you for a reason, but in most cases, there's got to be some initiative to follow through. I'm really excited that you got to watch this video today. We're going to put the questions down below. Please use the questions if they've helped you. Please let me know. Book a call with me, leave a comment below. I'm really interested in helping you build your business and grow. Thank you very much.